Well, can you just start out by telling a little bit about yourself and about your book? That'd be a great place to start.
Yeah, of course. So I have it here. So I'm Kristen Cipriano. I wrote The Queen Rises by Kristen Cipriano, which is a dystopian romantic fantasy novel that really centers around an evil king that has stolen all the magic from all the female elves, and there's one female elf who is rising up to try and set that stuff straight.
Okay.
And along the way, she happens to catch the eye of the king's top guard, which, of course, we then get a little game of cat and mouse. Will they or won't they? Enemies to friends to lovers type of situation.
That's
And it's
cool.
a grand old time.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. And I did see on your TikTok too. I loved this when you were talking on your TikTok about liking to show like a positive view of romance and like also sex too with like married couples and stuff like that as well. Can you talk a little bit about that and everything?
Yeah, so on the internet, there's people with all sorts of different opinions about this. And I do identify as a Christian. And there's a lot of Christians that would say open door spice or something like that is not appropriate.
Right.
And to be clear, I write my books for everyone. And kind of like the
Yep.
vision I have when I write these open door spice scenes is that whether it's a Christian or more likely it's probably not a Christian or not a practicing Christian that is reading the book and is able to see the difference between what casual sex is like
Mm. Yep.
versus what true soulmate, you use the word married couple, like that level of sex with the one that God chose for you, and
Right.
the dramatic difference of how it feels and how you experience it. Because in the media is so much, and this was a big part of the reason why I wrote my book actually, was because I was so fed up with the media in general, books, movies, TV, telling
Mm-hmm.
women that we should have casual sex, we don't need a man. And there was
Mm-hmm.
also like around the time when I was writing the book, there was a really strong, like feminist, like
Mm-hmm.
anti-man agenda. And
Right.
although my book is about like a horrible patriarchy, it also shows the reader that, hey, there are good men out there and we
Right.
need good men in our lives to have that balance and to live the best that we all can live.
Right.
So for me, like it's not so much about like, are you being a good Christian if you're reading my open spice book? It's more about reaching the people who maybe are already reading spicy books,
Yep.
but I wanted to spread a different message.
I love that. And I loved that when I heard that on TikTok too, because you don't hear that as much as you should. Like I feel like in our world today, it's like everyone wants to look down on like that, but like instead what if we redeemed it, you know? Like
Yeah.
I love that. So I love how you worded that and everything. Cool. And then so what gave you the idea for this book?
Yeah, so this book, I say that I channeled it from God. I was woken up at 5 a.m. on a random, I don't even know what month it was. I guess it would have been like April. I think it was April of 2024. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I couldn't go back to sleep. It was raining, it was storming, and my husband was asleep. It was like a Saturday morning, so he had a long work week and he wasn't going to wake up for like 4 more hours at
Oh
least.
yeah.
So I came downstairs in the stormy weather and I just like manically started typing an outline.
Wow.
And I wrote the entire outline in about 4 hours. It did change
Wow.
a bit with editing and revisions, but the overarching story and the overarching theme is true to that original outline.
Mm,
So I don't think it came from me. I think it came from God. And although it's not really a Christian book, it obviously has like Christian influence in it.
I love that.
Uh, and yeah, and then I'm working on the second book slowly but surely. It's been a little bit harder for me to write because there's a lot of trauma healing aspects to
Mm,
that we follow in the second book, and that's based
okay.
on my trauma healing journey. That
Okay.
one's a bit harder to write, but I think that one is going to be a really powerful book for people as well.
Mm-hmm.
People already love the first book, but I think the second book is really going to speak to those broken parts of us
Mm,
that we've maybe just ignored or we haven't like fully witnessed
right.
and redeemed those parts of us.
I love that. I just love that. I love your heart behind it too, because I can just see the passion and the love that you have for the story and also your readers when they're reading the story. So that's really cool. Cool to see. And with that trauma, then, like, how have you found that being like, you said you've sourced some of it from your own trauma.
Yeah.
How has that not, I guess for lack of better words, how has it not pushed you back into, like how have you tried to stay focused where you're like, okay, I'm not going to go back into that, but I'm going to revisit it and use it so that it can help others.
Yeah, so I tried and I failed. So I did end up having to restart therapy, which was not
Oh,
a bad thing
yep.
because there were things I still had unresolved.
Right.
And in my head, before I restarted therapy, I was like, oh no, I'm good. But now that I've been back in therapy, I'm like, oh no, this is actually helping me resolve
Mm-hmm.
all these things that I thought I had resolved. So, I started out really, really focused, just like I was writing the first book. It was pretty easy for the first two-thirds of it. And then when I really started to get into some of the deeper emotions, it did just like bring up those parts of me that I hadn't fully healed.
Mm-hmm.
So this book has taken a little bit longer to write, but overall is going to be such a reclamation of my own
Mm.
trauma and my own life. And I think for anyone who reads it, who has experienced trauma, will feel that way as well because it's moving out of the space of like this thing that I have to heal and like
Mm.
seeing that there is hope on the other side and like goodness on the other side, which I've already experienced so much of in my life. But to actually be able to capture that journey in a book, I don't see that too often. It's usually the
Mm.
opposite. It's usually like
Yep.
things start out good and then you get more traumatized as the
Yeah,
series goes on.
that's true.
So,
Oh man,
um,
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I do really love that. That's beautiful. I can't wait to hear more about that in the future. And when are you planning to publish the second one?
Yeah, so I haven't officially set a date,
Oh,
but my
okay.
goal is late summer, so maybe like early September next year. Um,
Okay.
or if things run behind because I am currently pregnant,
Okay,
um,
yeah.
and in more in the winter next year, but definitely 2026 is when I plan to publish it,
Perfect.
hoping to get to the proofreading stage by the time I push the baby out. So that way
There
I
you
can
go.
fine tune things and not be in like a full on editing mode with a
There you
newborn.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a lot. Perfect. And do you have any other children or is this your first one?
It'll be my first one.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's super exciting. So, and then what does a day in the life as a writer, Kristen, look like right now?
Yeah, so right now it is different than what I would have said maybe 6 months ago.
Right.
So right now, because I am still working through some of the things I need to work through to be able to write the second book, it's a lot of like therapy and focusing on keeping myself in a good mindset and headspace,
Mm,
and also focusing on selling the first book and doing what lights me up in terms of marketing. So that's a big piece of right now. When I'm in a writing stage, it's literally like I wake up, I go to my workout, and then I like write manically until I can't write anymore.
that's cool.
And I'm very much a kind of like an all or nothing writer. I'm not someone who does like a little bit every day. I'm like, I have to prepare my vessel, so to speak,
Mm,
to
that's good.
write. And then I do a season where like I don't talk to people, I don't socialize, I literally just write.
That's funny. Oh my goodness. I love that. Where you kind of like end up like, okay, I'm hermiting and
Yes.
introverting here, so I'm just gonna be me in the book. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. That's kind
So
of how
right
I
now
look
I'm
at it.
more in like the extroverted stage and also like the preparation stage. And then
Right.
I'm hoping I'll get into like a deep writing stage starting in
Oh,
November.
for your state, since we're in Texas this week with you here, if you were to have people come and visit in Texas, where would you tell them they have to go and see?
Well, if you like a cowboy romance, definitely go to the Fort Worth Stockyards.
Ooh, yes, perfect.
So the Stockyards are like a little mini Nashville. So there's live music, there's bars, there's all like the
Cool.
country stores, great food, great restaurants. So that's not, it's about 20-30 minutes from where I live, and it's a real fun time. It's actually, I didn't know this until a couple months ago. It's actually considered like a worldwide destination now.
Oh,
And we
really?
were talking to some of the store like employees, and they were saying that they asked us where we were from, and we're like, 20 minutes away. And they were like, oh, usually we get people from Sweden or
Oh,
Germany.
wow.
And I didn't realize it's become like this big international destination, but apparently it has. So,
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really cool, though. That's a good one. And then any others that you would recommend for people coming from out of state?
well, Texas is a huge state. I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's also, of course, the Austin area, which is similar to Nashville as well, with the live music, the bars, and it's more of like a college-y type scene.
Hmm.
But that's like 3 hours away from where I live. So it's a really big state.
Sure. Yes. Very
But
big state.
it's also very diverse. So we have desert, we have beach, we have city. So you kind of just have to pick what you're
What you kind of want to
in
see.
need for and go with that.
I love that. That's awesome. Cool. So, if you were to go on a road trip, what is the number one book that you would bring with you? It's maybe when you've revisited over the years, that number one book that you're like, yep, got to bring that.
Yeah. So,
It's a
I'm
hard
gonna be
question.
like pretty basic, but only because the time when I read this, it sparked something in me that I
Yep.
think I carry forward now, even though it's like a very basic
I
choice.
love it.
But either the Harry Potter series or the Twilight series,
Oh,
I
yes.
know they're like so common, but there is just something magical about them. And whether or not you like the story, whether or not you like the writing, the worldwide phenomenon aspect is undeniable.
Right.
And I love being immersed in that feeling as I think
Hmm.
about like what I want to create with my book, because I do want my books to be at that level. And I know that's very ambitious. And right now I'm
I
pregnant.
love it though, and that's a good goal to
Like
have, you
me,
know?
but yeah. And I think there's something really special about experiencing a piece of art, whether it's a book, a piece of artwork, literally a movie, a TikTok video, whatever it is. There's something about experiencing someone's art when they
Hmm.
were on the climb and then they just exploded, that I think we should study if we want to be at that level of success. So
Mm. Yep.
I think that's probably what draws me to it, even though it's not the best book ever written, Twilight especially.
Yeah,
But
that's so
it's
funny. But
still,
it did pull people in, you know? Like I still remember
yeah,
when I first read it, I was like I,
yeah.
I had to keep reading, so it was good.
I was an OG Twilight reader. Like before it was cool to like Twilight, I like Twilight. I was
That's
like
funny.
middle school, staying up late reading it. And
Yeah. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. I love that. Oh my word. That's a great answer though. I really love that. And then do you feel like so your book is a fantasy dystopian, you had said.
yes.
So do you feel like you get inspired by the places you travel or where you live when world building?
Oh, absolutely. So my book, the first, I don't know, most of this book is set in a mountainous, wintry, for lack of a better word, hell.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not, so the place that inspired the scenery of that space is not actually hell. It's a beautiful, wonderful place that I hope nobody visits because I don't want it to get any more crowded. But
Right.
it is based on Park City, Utah, and the surrounding
Okay.
mountains.
Cool.
And just like the feeling I would have there. And that's actually a place I get really inspired. We're going next weekend. So I'm
Fun.
fingers crossed. I'm hoping it will be such an inspirational trip for me to power through the
Yeah.
rest of the book too.
Oh,
Uh,
that'll be amazing.
so that's definitely been a big influence.
Mhm.
And then we did travel through Europe a couple years ago. We did like a month-long trip, did a lot of France, a lot of Italy, and then Greece.
Oh, cool.
And even just like being surrounded by different people, I think
Hmm.
activates something in us and different cultures. So I think travel heavily does inspire my work. And I think it was on that trip where I told my husband, this was 2 years ago, and I wrote this book about a year ago.
Hmm.
I told him I think I want to pursue my lifelong dream of becoming an author.
I love that.
Then a year later, I did it, and here we are.
I love it. That is awesome. How exciting. That's just such a pretty story and everything. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. And then, so where can people find you and your books online?
Yeah, so the easiest place to find the book is thequeenrises.com. I went ahead
Mm,
and snag that domain name.
that's
And it
awesome.
lists all the different retailers. So we have ebook versions and physical copies available online. And then to learn more about me, Kristen.Cipriano on Instagram or TikTok, and KristenCipriano.com for my main author website. I
Okay.
also do online, I do other stuff like I do affiliate marketing for brands I love, and I'm pregnant and I'm into health and wellness, so I'll share things like that.
Awesome.
So if
Yep.
you want to get to know the person behind the book, social media is also a great place to follow me.
Very cool. I love that. Awesome. Well, I'll put all that in the description below so people can hop over and follow you and get your book. Yeah, it was so much fun chatting with you. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and
Okay, sounds good.
yeah, talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.